Hi light workers, how are you darlings? I thought that I would do a quick video. Forgive me if there's noise in the background or reflections. Just was a last minute decision to do this. Yes, as you all know, I'm very passionate about looking after my body, being at my best health. For a long time it was about weight and weight loss, and then as the journey progressed it became more and more about my health and living my best life, and realizing that there are people out there that are not only overweight but there's also people that are underweight. But I try to sort of cater to the people that are struggling with the extra pounds. Not that I don't see the point of the people that are underweight, because I have some beautiful members in my family that have experienced that. And I'll quickly touch on that and say that they think some people are healthy when they're not actually healthy. They're actually struggling with very difficult medical conditions. And that was quite a wake-up call for me, seeing a few of my family members go through heavy medical conditions, and thinking, oh damn it, I'm too big, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. And then it made me come back to my perspective and what I was seeing from society, and getting upset and coming more back to a focus of my perspective and trying to be more grounded in a healthy mental perspective on my weight, and helped me heal a big part of my life. Seeing a couple of those members go, excuse me, I'm not going to cry, go through quite horrific ordeals, and thinking, well, maybe at one point it was best that we had a little bit of extra weight, otherwise I might have lost those family members. One of my family members did pass, the one that was a while back, but I still have my other family members that made it through, but they still struggle to put on weight and still have to be monitored so that I can keep them in a healthy balance. So that's another perspective to get. It's like we're so busy like seeing the projections of society that we forget to look within here, and remember who we are as a soul, as a being. And that could be our lesson, and our spiritual lesson that we volunteered for, to look through the looking glass of an overweight person, and then to come to a different perspective and come back to what we call homeostasis and undo those spiritual blocks, and remember who we are and where our healthy weight is meant to be, and not to think that just because someone weighs less than us that they're doing better than us, because you don't know that. You haven't walked in their shoes. And it was quite hilarious when I said, oh, blah, blah, in my family weighs this. Oh, and then I had another person there with the same perspective as me on being overweight. And they went, oh, my God, I need to lose a few kilos. I wish I was that weight. And I said, no, you don't, because that's not a natural weight for my family member. That's a dangerously low weight where my family member has barely got body fat. So don't think that because you weigh a certain weight that you're healthy. The best monitoring of the health is to actually go get a professional weight machine, like a DEXA scan. A proper DEXA scan will tell you what's going on. It's like being an athlete has also taught me a lot more about my body, and to get a healthier perspective on things and what was blocking me spiritually and mentally as well. And I still work on those things. I still have my daily struggles just like anyone else, because it's part of the journey. But now I have a better, healthier perspective of where I'm at, and that I don't need to look at society's perspective or the media's perspective in general. I need to remember me and who I am and where I'm at, and then I get on my scanner at my fitness place, and I know where I'm at. And just because I weigh this doesn't mean that I'm fat, and just because that other person weighs that doesn't mean they're healthy. They could be going through the worst medical struggle of their life and you don't know. So it's about getting a healthy perspective, undoing the spiritual blocks, and coming to that mindset of knowing what you need. And as I've said before, not what Bobby Joe or Joe Blogs down the road needs. It's like, weight is not everything. Like learning in my industry, there is a chart, yes, and there is a medical perspective, yes, but it is just a guidance. It is a guidance for a reason. It doesn't say on their bodybuilder who weighs 150 kilos and actually weighs that mostly muscle with 24% fat. It's just got overweight on that chart. And that chart was just made for what I call the entire circle of everyone that they could just access at the time. It doesn't access an athlete. It doesn't access someone else's individual body. It is just a guide. But unfortunately, sometimes that guide can cause massive problems. Sometimes people, when they go into a mindset and you can't get through to them, you can't explain that it's just a guide because they've gone so far down the rabbit hole, they're not even listening to the professional anymore. So if I'm going to get to anyone who's gone too far down the rabbit hole, please come up, breathe again, get a more healthy perspective. You are not a bad person because you maybe put on too much weight or you can't put on weight. You are a beautiful human being who was born to be loved. You are a perfect creation of the divine spark of light. You come from the creator, you come from the universe. As I've said, you come from the purple alien, whatever you want, but you are a divine spark here to be gorgeous. Remember the experience, remember you, and you can get through this and you can get through your spiritual blocks. I'm living proof of it. I really am. And it's a long journey and no one can do it for you at all. You need to access those spiritual blocks, what's going on. And you don't need to do it by yourself. There is good support out there. You can get the guidance, you can get the support. And the first start is to acknowledge that you need help and stop hiding in the dark. And go get the support because there are plenty of people out there that want to help you. And in saying that, I'll give you some spiritual blocks that happened for me. I had a lot of problems happen to me when I was a child. As you know, I've spoken about it before. And then I had even more problems happen to me as I got older and had my first few partners which didn't do the right thing by me. I won't get into it. We were both young. Things happen. Life goes on. And then I had a few other experiences with other people outside of my romantic relationships as well. I definitely got tried and tested by people that I trusted, as I'm sure a lot of you have over the years, but it's part of the experience. It's part of undoing the blocks. It's part of becoming the greatest you that is ever possible to be. And I thank those people for those experiences. I truly do, because you did your job, you did your contract, well done. Thank you. I'm now a beautiful warrior woman who keeps going and hopefully can inspire other beautiful warriors to stand strong and heal through their spiritual blocks, and hopefully help you heal your spiritual weight loss block. So my one was protection. And once I managed that and I got through that by going to the gym and getting strong and lifting the weights and doing my martial arts to defend myself and protect myself against people that had hurt me, and living by the code of honour in martial arts. Basically, it's for defence only. That's my code of honour. And learning my boundaries. I allowed them to be broken too many times in my loneliness. Not proud of it, but sometimes when we're lonely, we can do things that we would never do. So that was a lesson in itself too. So letting go of that self-punishment, that sometimes when loneliness overtakes us, we can make bad decisions. And then that was coming to a place of learning to love me more. Once you love yourself so hard to the point of no return, there is no way that anyone can break your boundaries unless you make that choice. Unless you make that choice. Because I will say these days, I love myself so hard it hurts. In a good way. So I absolutely send you the blessings of the world that you can love yourself that hard too. And let go of the belief that it's vain and all this other stuff. Because it's not vain to love yourself. It is a total service to your whole being to take the time to love yourself. Sometimes I can think that certain things are misconstrued in communication. I think it just sort of meant don't love yourself as much as Narcissus didn't fall in the pond. It just means love yourself with loving balance. So yeah, there are some things there. Emotions can do things that you never thought they could unless you acknowledge them. And it's like learning to let go of the programming which creates the emotional blocks within you in the first place. And acknowledging those emotions can be the toughest thing in the world, but it's a place to start. As the L'Oreal ad says, it won't happen, but it will happen. All right, my gorgeous darlings. The moral of the story is self-love and self-perception is the first step. Once you love you, you can unblock and accomplish anything. It takes time. It takes patience. It takes loving yourself, like I said, so hard that even if they tried to get through those things that were there before, they haven't got a shot in bollocks. Excuse my language. So go take it easy, my gorgeous darlings. Go love yourself enough to take care of yourself and go be beautiful. Mwah. Love, light and blessings. Bye.